Assalamu alaikum everyone. So in this video we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE 0580 paper 22 May June 2026. Let's start with question number 1. Alright. So now question number 1 is related to scatter diagram. Alright. So you can check that in this scatter diagram you have fuel consumption and CO2 emission graph for 10 cars. Alright. So now what you are supposed to do in A part, another car has a fuel consumption of 6.2 liters per 100 kilometer. So 6 point fuel consumption is on x-axis, so this is x value 6.2, and CO2 emission for this car is 160, so this is y value. So you need to plot this point on y-axis, on this point on the graph. So the point 6.2 and 162 will be over here. All right, so this point will be over here, 6.2 and 162. You can check that. So here is the value 162. All right. Now let's move to B part. So what type of correlation does the scatter diagram shows? So you can see that as the fuel consumption increases, just like for this point, fuel consumption is low. So CO2 emission is also low. For this point, if fuel consumption is more, CO2 emission is also more. So we can say the correlation is positive. So we can say correlation is positive. Alright, in C part, you need to draw the line of best fit on the scatter diagram shown. So we need to draw the we need to draw the best fit line. So here you can check that you have almost 1, 2, 3, and 4 points below the line, and similarly almost you have 4 points above this line. So this can be the best fit line. So next part is for another car, CO2 emission has CO2 emission of 140 gram per kilometer. Use the line of best fit to estimate the fuel consumption of this car. All right, so we have 140 gram per kilometer. So you can check that 140 gram is over here. Just draw the line over here and then bring this line down. So the value over here is actually 5.15. So this point is 5.1. So the value is 5.15. Hopefully understand this question. Let's move to question number 2. Start with question number 2. The diagram shows an accurate net of an open box in the shape of cuboid. All right. So all the dimensions are whole number of centimeters. All right. So you don't have any dimension in decimal. All the dimensions are whole number of centimeters. In A part, you need to find the total area of the net. All right. So now you need to find out the total area. In A part, you need to find out the total area of net. So you can check that you don't have any dimension given over here. So and this net is accurate. That means you need to measure these lengths by using scale. Let's come to second screen. Okay, so if you look at this thing carefully, so this dimension over here is actually, so the dimension over here is 1 point like we can say 6 or 7. So you can say this dimension is 2. Also, sorry, so also if we check this dimension, if we check this dimension, so this is 2 point, yes, it's almost 2.6 or like more. So we can say this thing is 3. All right, let's come to the bottom lengths. So also this is also 3, and this thing is actually 5. So this is 3, this is 3, this is 5, and let's measure this length now, and this thing is also S3. Now let's measure these vertical lengths. Now this is 4.6. You can check that this is 4.6. So you can write this as 5, and now if we measure this thing, so this is 1.6 or 7, so you can say this length is 5. If this is 5, so this length is also 5, and this length is 2, this length is 2, and also, sorry, so also this length is 2. Hopefully you understand this. Let me take screenshot of this thing. Now you can check that the area, this is 2 and this is 5, so the area of this rectangle is 10, and the area of this rectangle is 15, and the area of this rectangle is 6, this rectangle is 10, and this rectangle is 6. So if we add all these values, so 10 plus 15 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6, so what is the value you will get over here? So 10 plus 15 is 25, and then 31, and then 41, and then 41 plus 6, and this thing will be 47. All right, let's move to B part. So find the volume of open box. So you can check that the dimensions are 2, 3, and 5. So all these dimensions are repeating 2, 3, and 5. 2, 3, and 5. All right, so you can say the volume is 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. So you can say length multiplied by width multiplied by height. So this thing will be 30 centimeter cube. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's start with question number 3. Find the reciprocal of 3 whole 1 over 3. Let's convert it into improper fraction. So that will be 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 will be 10 by 3. And if we take the reciprocal, so it will be 3 by 10. All right, let's move to question number 4. So in question number 4, we have 1 over 6. So let's take the reciprocal to change division into multiplication. That will be 7 over 2. So this thing will produce 7 over 12. All right. Let's start with question number 5. So on the grid, draw the images of shape A after translation by vector minus rho 5. After translation by the vector minus 2 5, so we need to translate A by minus 2 5. So that means you need to move minus 2 unit on left side and 5 units on top side. All right, so let's do that. If we shift this point to minus 2 units on left side and 5 units on top side, so we will have this point over here. All right, so this point over will be over here, and this point will be over here. And if we talk about the image of this point, so this point will be over here. And similarly, let's talk about this point now. So minus 2 units on left side and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units on top side. So this point will be over here. And lastly, this point will be over here. So you can check each and every point one by one. Okay. Now let's solve second part. Shape A after a reflection in line y is equals to x. So if you need to reflect a shape in line y is equals to x, so there is a shortcut. Just swap their x and y coordinate. So let's write the coordinate of this point first. So the coordinate for this point is minus 4 comma 2. All right, and for this point is it's minus 3 comma 0, and for this point is minus 2 comma 0, and then for this point it is like minus 2 comma 2. So if we translate this, so this point will become 2 comma minus 4, and then 0 comma minus 3, and then 0 comma minus 2, and then 2 comma minus 2. Now let's draw these new points. 2 comma minus 4 will be over here. All right, and then 0 comma minus 3 will be over here, and then 0 comma minus 2 will be over here, and then 2 comma minus 2 will be over here. All right, Let's start with B part of this question. Describe fully the single transformation that map shape A onto shape B. So here is shape A and shape B. Let's join their corresponding point to check that whether it's a reflection or rotation. All right. So I'm joining this. The corresponding point of this point is over here, and the corresponding point of this point over here is. So you cannot say this is a reflection because the line joining the corresponding points are not parallel. So this is actually shape A is rotation. If we shape B is the rotation of shape A. All right, let's draw shape B over here. So I'm not able to do that. Let me draw shape B again over here. Yeah, this is roughly like that. Now I want to show you what is the angle of rotation. If you look at this shape carefully over here, now you can check that this line was horizontal and now this line become vertical over here. Let's draw let's rotate this shape. So if I rotate it 90-degree anti-clockwise, so this shape become like that. So this was original shape, now this is 90-degree anti-clockwise. So you can say, so the transformation over here is rotation and 90-degree anti-clockwise. And now the last point is the center of rotation, and you need for the you need to do it for the last to get one. Okay, so now I usually do it by using perpendicular bisectors. So now I have done it already, so to save your time. All right, so how do I did this? So this is a bit complicated. So first of all, let's take this point minus 4 comma 2, and now the corresponding point of minus 4 comma 2 is over here. Now, if we find out the midpoint of these 2 points, minus 4 plus 4 will be 0 and 2 minus 4 will be minus 2. So the midpoint of these 2 points is over here. You can check that. So to draw perpendicular bisector without compass, without I put the protractor over here and draw 90-degree angle. So I just put the protractor over here and draw a 90-degree angle and draw the line. So this line is actually perpendicular bisector. All right. Now, if you then I took these 2 points. I took these 2 points and then I find out the midpoint, and this point is over here, and then I draw the perpendicular bisector for this line, and these 2 perpendicular bisector meet at 3 and 3. So the center of rotation is 3 comma 3. Let's write it over here. So the center of rotation is actually 3 comma 3. That's hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's move to question number 6. All right. So now in question number 6, E is equals to 5c square minus d square. You need to find out the value of E. Let's put these values over here. So that will be 5 into square root 18 square minus 2 square. So square and square root will become cancelled. So you have 5 into 18 over here and then minus 4. So 8 times 5 is 40, 0, 4 carry, and then 18 times 5 is 90. So 90 minus 4, so you will get 86. Let's move to B part. You need to rearrange the formula to write C in term of E. So you need to make C as subject. All right. So let's write this equation over here again. E is equals to 5c square minus d square. Let's separate the things from here. So now you need to make C as subject. So let's shift D to other side. So this will become E plus d square is equals to 5c square, and 5 is dividing over here, so this will become E plus d over 5 is equals to c square. So if you take square root on both sides, sorry, so if you take square root on both sides, so this thing will become C is equals to, you need to write plus minus sign with the square root. So this thing is plus minus square root E plus d over 5. Let's move to question number 7. So in question number 7, so you need to factorize. So you need to take common from here. So 2 is common from here, and then x is also common. So you can say 3w minus 2y is your answer. Let's write it over here. Let's move to question number 8. So here you need to write the values of cos 45 and tan 60. So the value of cos 45, you need to learn these values without calculator. So there are shortcuts you can search on YouTube. So cos 45 is equals to 1 square root 2 and tan 60 is square root 3. Let's move to question number 9. So you need to write 63 as a product of prime factors. Let's do the prime factorization. So this is 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3. So 3 times 7 is 21 and 7 times 1 is 7. So if you do this, so you will think this thing becomes 3 square multiplied by 7. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now now we need to find the LCM of 63 and 42. So we need to do prime factorization of 42 as well. So if we do prime factorization of 42 and this thing become 21 and then 3 7 and then 7 1, so you can write 42 is equals to 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. All right, and then 63 is actually, sorry, 60 63 is actually 3 square multiplied by 7. Now you can check that we don't have any factor of 2, so you can write 2 multiply by 3 square multiplied by 7. So in LCM we took the bigger power, so we will take 3 square from here. So now 2 times 3 square is 9 and then 7. 9 sevens are 63 and 63 times 2 is 126. Let's solve C part of this question. Find the highest common factor of 63 a power 5 c2 and 42 a square c power 5. All right, so 63 is actually 3 square multiplied by 7 a square a power 5 c power 2, and 42 is actually 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7, and here you have a power 2 and c power 5. All right, so from here we will take the smaller power, so c power 2 will be over here, and from here you will take the smaller power, so a power 2 will be over here. And now from here we will take 7 and from here we will take 3, so the answer will be 21 a square and c square. Hopefully you understand this. Let's move to the next question, question number 10. All right, so now you need to write 0.73 as a fraction. So now you can, let's say x is equals to 0.7333 like this. Now you need to multiply x with such a number so that you can get, so that you can get one non-repeating digit on left side of the decimal. So if I multiply it with 10x, if I multiply the x with 10, so this thing becomes 7.333 like this. And now I need to multiply x again with a number so that I get one set of repeating digit on left side. So 3 is repeating, so I need to multiply with 100. So 100x will be equals to 73.33 and like that. So now if I subtract these two equations, 100x minus 10x is equals to 73.33 minus 7.33. So you will get 90x is equals to 73 minus 7 is actually 66. Now x will be equals to 66 by 90. So now this thing will produce 3 times 2 and then 3 times 2 is 66 and then 3 30s are 90, again 11 over 15 will be your answer. Okay, let's move to question number 11. Find the number of sides of a regular polygon with interior angle 140 degree. So now how do we find one interior angle? So that is, so the sum of interior angle is n minus 2 multiplied by 180, and if I divide it by number of sides, so I will get one interior angle, so that is equals to 140. So if I shift n to other side and expand the bracket on left side, so I will get 180 n minus 360 degree is equals to 140, and let's bring 140 n to left side. So this thing is equals to 360 degree. So 40 n will be equals to 360. So n will be equals to 360 over 40. So 0 and 0 will get cancelled, and 4 divided by 36 divided by 4 is 9. Let's move to question number 12. All right, so let me zoom out my screen a bit so that you can understand better. So here you need to draw these lines on the grid. So x is equals to 8. So x is equal to 8 is a vertical line that is passing through 8. So now this line will be over here. So this line is actually x is equals to 8. Now you need to draw another line, that is y is equals to 2. So this is a horizontal line that is passing through 2. Let's draw this. Okay, so now the next one is x plus y is equals to 8. For this line, so what you can do over here, so you can make so you can make y as subject, so x plus y is equals to 8, so y will be equals to 8 minus x. Y is equals to 8 minus x. All right, now let's take x values and y values. So if I take x as 0, so y will be, if I put x as 0 over here, so it will be 8. And if I put 8 over here, so this will be 0. All right, so now you get 2.08 and then 80. All right, so now let's join these points. So okay, let's join these points. Now the equation of this line is x plus y is equals to 8. So let me write it over here, x plus y is equals to 8, and this line is y is equals to 2. Let's write it over here too. Now the last one is 2y minus x is equals to 4. Now if I make x subject over here, so this will be 2y is equals to 4 plus x, and y will be equals to 4 plus x over 2. Okay, now let's make a table. Let's take some values of x and then corresponding y values. So if I put 0 over here, so if I put 0 over here, so that thing become 4 over 2. So for 0 it's 2. And then if I put a bigger point over here, let's say if I put 8 over here, so 8 plus 4 is, if I put 8 over here, so 8 plus 4 is 12, and 12 by 2 is 6. So I got 2.02 and 86. 02 is over here and 86 is actually over here. Yes. And now let's join these points too. Yeah. Okay, let's move to B part of this question. Region R satisfies these four inequalities. All right, so by shading the unwanted region of the grid, so first of all you need to shade the unwanted region and then find a label the region R. Now x is less than equals to 8, so that means our line is vertical, so we need the area on the left side and the unwanted region is on right side. So this is our unwanted region. All right, now the next thing is y is greater than equals to 2, so that means you need the area that is on top side of this line. So you need the area that is on the top side of this line, this one. So the unwanted region is this one. So this is our unwanted region. Now the next thing is x plus y greater than equals to 8. Greater than equals to 8. So that means if I stand it over here, so this is the region where x plus y is greater than equals to 8. Greater than equals to 8. So this is the region. All right, and we don't need we won't need to shade unwanted region, so this is our unwanted region. Okay, so now lastly we have 2y minus x less than equals to 4. 2y minus x less than equals to 4. All right, so now actually this is the line 2y minus x, 2y minus x that is less than equals to 4. So that means we need this region below the line, and this, and the region above this line is unwanted, and this part is already shaded, so let's shade this part. And now this is the required region and we need to label it with R. Okay, let's move to question number 13. A sector of circle has an angle 90 degree. So the sector angle is 90 degree and radius is 12 centimeter. You need to find the arc length of the sector and you need to write the answer in term of pi. Let's write the formula for arc length. So that is theta over 360 degree times 2 times pi times the radius. Okay, so now it is 90 by 360 multiply by 2 into pi into 12. So now 90 times 1 is 90 and 90 times 4 is 360. Similarly, 4 times 1 is 4 and 4 times 3 is 12. So your answer will be 6 pi. Let's move to question number 14a part. So you need to write the nth term of this. You are given with the nth term of sequence, that is n square minus 3. You need to write the first three term of the sequences. Let's put 1 square minus 3 and then 2 square minus 3 and then write 3 square minus 3. So that is 1 minus 3, 4 minus 3 and then 9 minus 3, and you will get minus 2, 1 and 6 over here. So the answers are minus 2, 1 and 6. All right, let's move to B part of this question. So you are given with this sequence. You need to write the nth term of this sequence. So you can check that this is a geometric sequence. You need to multiply here with 3, and here at 12 times 3 is 36, 36 times 3 is 108, and the general formula for this is a into r power n minus 1. So a is 4 and the common ratio over here is, if you divide 12 by 4 is 3 and then 36 by 4 12 is 3, so the common ratio over here is 3. So your answer will be 4 into 3 power n minus 1. Let's move to this question. So you can check that A, B, C, and D are points on a circle. Let's highlight these points. So this will help you to identify a cyclic quadrilateral. A, B, C, and D. EF is tangent. You can check that this EF is tangent to the circle at A. Angle ABD is 20 degree. Okay, what you are supposed to do, you need to find out the angle EAD. Give a reason for each step of your working. And you can check that this is a 5-mark question. You need to write reason for each and every step that you will be doing over here. Okay, so you need to find out this angle EAD. So this is the angle that you are required. Okay, so can I find out this angle easily? Because these are the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral. Opposite angles of a cyclic one. So now let's write the name of this angle that is forming over here. So this angle is DAB. So I can write DAB is equals to 180 degree minus 75 degree. So 180 minus 75, if I do this, so I will get 105. All right. So I will get 105 over here. Now what is the reason for this thing? And the reason for this thing is opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. So this is 105 degree. Can we find out this angle? Yes, we can find out this angle easily. So now this angle is ABD. So this angle is ABD. And how do we find out this angle? So we'll subtract 180 minus 105 minus 20 degree. So if we subtract 180 and 105, that is 75, and 75 minus 20, so that is 55 degree. And you can write the reason for this angle. Sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degree. Now by using alternate segment theorem, so the angle between tangent and chord, so this is tangent, the angle between tangent and chord is the same angle that this chord is making at circumference. So this chord is making at circumference. So these two angles are equal, and we can say that EAD is actually equals to ABD. And what is the reason for that? And the reason for alternate segment theorem. alternate segment theorem. Hopefully you understand this. Okay, let's paste this thing over below. Okay, so the answer for EAD is equals to 55. So hopefully you understand this question. Let's solve question number 16. The volume of a sphere is 500 centimeter cube. All right. Use the approximation of 3 for pi. Find the estimate of the radius of the sphere. So the sphere radius of volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So in the place of pi, I'm writing 3 because it is given in question. R cube is equals to 500. Now this 3 and 3 will get cancelled. So r cube will be equals to 500 divided by 4. So if we do our 500 divided by 4, so this thing become 125. Let's take cube root on both sides. So you will get r is equals to 5. Now let's do question number 17. So in question number 17, you need to expand and simplify. So if I multiply 4 with 3, so I will get 12. And if I multiply 4 with this thing, so that is 4 into 2 is 8. So that is 8 into square root 7. And if I multiply this thing, so I will get minus 3 into square root 7. And if I multiply these two things, so this is minus 2 into square root 49. Now this is 12, 12. And now you can solve these two terms. 8 into square root 7 minus 3 into square root 7. So you'll get plus 5 into square root 7 minus 2 into 7. So this thing is 12 plus 5 into square root 7 minus 14. So you will get 5 square root 7 minus 2 as your answer. Hopefully you understand this. Let's do B part of this question. So in B part of this question, you need to rationalize the denominator. Now for that, you need to multiply it with 3 plus square root 5 over 3 plus square root 5. So this thing becomes 2 into 3 plus square root 5 over 3 minus square root 5 into 3 plus square root 5. So 2 times 3 is, you can write this thing as it is. Let's solve the denominator, simplify the denominator. So this thing becomes 3 square minus square root 5 square. So this thing is 2 into 3 plus square root 5 over 9 minus 5. So that is 2 into 3 plus square root 5 over 4. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So the answer will be 3 plus square root 5 over 2. Let's move to question number 18. All right. So in question number 18, Marwa has these 10 number tiles. So Marwa picks one of the tiles at randomly. She replaces the tiles and then picks a second tile at random. Find the probability that the two tiles she is choosing have the same even number. The two tiles she is choosing has the same even number. All right. Now, what you can do over here. So which two even numbers we have over here? So we have 2 and 2 and 4 and 4. All right. So there are two possibility. If she picks 2 at first and then 2 again, and then she picks 4 first and then 4 again. Okay. So now what is the probability of getting 2 over here? So if she is picking 2, so the probability will be 2 over 10, and as she is replacing it back, so that will be 2 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 10 plus how many times 4 is over here? So 4 is 5 times, so the probability for getting 4 is 5 by 10 multiplied by 5 over 10. So this thing will be 4 over 100 plus 25 over 100, and this thing produces actually 29 by 100. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's do the B part of this question. From the 10 number tiles, Marwa now picks 3 tiles at random without replacement. Find the probability that the sum of the numbers on 3 is 11. Now let's look at this thing. The sum of the number should be 11. So if I pick number 3 first and then 4 and then 4 again, so the sum will be 11. So there are three possibilities over here. How? So if I pick tile with number 3 and then 4, the sum is 11. The second possibility is if I pick 4 first, 4 as second, and then 3 at the third. And similarly, if I pick 3 at first, if I pick 4 at first, 3 at second, and 4 at third, so the sum of these three possibilities is always 11. Now, if I find out the probability of getting 3, so what is the probability of getting 3? So it's 2 by 10. So if I find out the probability of getting 3, so it's actually 2 tiles with so 2 by 10 multiply by. Now, if I pick the now if as I have picked one tile from here, so the total tile remains 9 now. This is without replacement. Now, what is the probability of getting 4? So the probability of getting 4 is 5 by 9 multiply by. Similarly, now we have 4 tiles with number 4, so that will be 4 over 8. All right. Now, if I pick 4 first, 4 at second, then 3 at first, their multiplication or their product always remains same. Their product always remains same. Now I will just simply multiply it with 3. Let's write 3 over here. Now just simplify this. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, then 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Now this thing is 3 into 1 over 18. So if you simplify this, so you will get 1 over 6 as your final answer. All right. Okay, let's start with question number 19. In question number 19, you have to expand the brackets and then simplify. All right. So let's expand first two brackets. So if we multiply 3 with x, you will get 3x square. And now if you multiply 3x with 4, you will get 12x. And similarly, if you multiply 1 with x, you will get x, and 1 with 4, you will get 4. So that is x plus 4 into x minus 2. All right. So now here you can solve these two terms. So if you solve these two terms, what you will get from here, so you will get 3x square plus 13x plus 4 into x minus 2. Let's expand these two brackets now. So if we multiply 3x square with x, so we'll get 3x cube. And similarly, if we multiply 3x square with minus 2, so I will get minus 6x square. Similarly, plus 13x square minus 26x plus 4x minus 8. Now here you can solve like terms. So if you solve these two terms here, so what you will get from here, so you'll get 3x square plus 7x square. And if you solve these two terms, you'll get minus 22x minus 8. So that is your answer. Let's move to question number 20. So question number 20, you have two bottles that are mathematically similar. All right. So the volume of the large bottle is 216 and volume of smaller bottle is 27 cm cube. The height of larger bottle is 10 centimeter and the height of smaller bottle is 8, that you need to find. So we already know that in similar shapes, the volume ratio is actually the length ratio cube. So here we have height, so you can take length as height. So h1 over h2 cube is equals to v1 over v2. So now we need to find out the height of the smaller bottle. So what is the volume of smaller bottle? So this is 27. And what is the height of larger bottle? So that is 10 cube. All right. And now what is the volume of larger bottle? That is 216. So you need to take cube root on both sides. So this thing is h over 10 is equals to 3 by 6. All right. Now you can check that solve this thing over here. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6. Now you have 2h is equals to 10. So h will be equals to 10 by 2, and that is equals to 5. So hopefully you understand this question. Now question number 21a, you need to write x square plus 8x minus 7 in this form. Now what you will do, simply write this expression as it is, x square plus 8x, 8x, give a little space, then write minus 7. Now take the half of the middle term, so square. So if you take half of 8, so that will be 4. So add 4 square and subtract 4 square. And now these three terms actually make the whole square of x plus 8. So you can write x plus 8 whole square minus 16 minus 7. Sorry, x plus 4 square. And then if you solve this, you will get x plus 4 whole square minus 23, and that is your answer. Now you need to write down the coordinates of the turning point of the curve. So when you need to write the coordinates of turning points, you need to change the sign of this thing. So here you have plus 4, so this will be minus 4, and you need to write this term as it is. So this is the y coordinate of turning point. So you can write minus 4 minus 23 over here. Let's move to question number 22. So question number 22 is about vectors. OABC is a parallelogram, and OA is given like OA is equals to A and OC is equals to C. Now AP ratio PC is equals to 1:4. So you can say this is one part, this is four part. So AC is actually divided into five parts. AC is actually divided into five parts. Now what you are supposed to do, so you need to find in term of A and C in simplest form. So you need to write about AP. So let's first find out what is AC. So AC is actually, if you want to move from A to C, so this will be minus A plus C because you are moving in opposite direction. So this is minus A plus C. All right. Now what is AP? So if you look at this thing, this is one part and this is four part. Out. So now total parts are 5. So AC is divided into 5 parts. So AP will be equals to 1 over 5 into AC, and AC is 1 over 5 into minus A plus C, and if you solve this you will get minus 1 over 5A plus 1 over 5C plus 1 over 5C. All right, now you need to find out OP. So how can you move from O to P? So you need to move this way and then this way. So we already have the value of AP, so we can write OP is OA plus AP, OA plus AP, and OA is A plus AP. So AP is actually minus 1 over 5A plus 1 over 5C. Now you need to make the denominator same, 1 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. So this thing actually produces 5A over 5 minus 1 over 5A plus 1 over 5C. So if you solve this, you will get 4 over 5A plus 1 over 5C. All right. So let's move to next question. Q is point on AB such that AQ is equals to 1 over 4C. AQ is equals to 1 over 4C. Show that OP and Q lie in a straight line. So basically Q is a point on AB, and you need to show that OP and Q lie on straight line. So we have Q somewhere over here. Let's say this is line. So if it is on the same straight line, so Q will be over here something. And AQ is 1 over 4C. AQ is 1 over 4C. All right. Now we have the value of OP. Let's find out the value of OQ. So OQ is A plus 1 over 4C. OQ is equals to A plus 1 over 4C, and we already have OP that is equals to 4 over 5A plus 1 over 5C. So this thing is from here. Now you need to convert this form into this form to show that these two vectors are parallel first. All right, so you can take, if you take 4 over 5 common from here, so that will be A plus, now you took 4 over 5 as it is common from here, so A, you took 4 over 5 as common, so you already took 5 common from here, but here you have 4. So to balance this, you need to put 1 over 4 in the denominator over here, and now this thing is 4 by 5 into OQ. Now if you want to show that line, some points are on a straight line, so you need to show two things. First thing, you need to show that the vectors joining these points are parallel. So here is OP is equals to 4 over 5 OQ, and this is like first point. Now in second point, you need to write that, show that like they have a common point, they have a common point. So you can check that this vector is from O to P, and similarly this vector is from O to Q. So O point is common. So O point is common. Hopefully you understand this. Okay, let's start with question number 23. So in this question, you are given with equation of a curve, and you need to find out the gradient of the tangent to the curve at x is equals to 2, right? So what you are supposed to do, you need to differentiate this equation with respect to x, so dy by dx. All right, and now this power should be multiplied with this 2, and now this thing become 4, and power will reduced as well, so it will be 4x minus 11, and now you need to put x is equals to 2, 4 into 2 minus 11, so that is 8 minus 11, and your answer will be minus 3. Now this question is bit tricky. Line L intersect the curve at x is equals to 2. Line L is perpendicular to the tangent to the curve at x is equals to 2. Okay, so what you have here, so let's say you have a curve over here. All right, and now let's say here is a tangent. Let me fix this. Okay, line L is perpendicular to the tangent to the curve. So here is line L. Okay, so line L, now this is line L. This line L is perpendicular to the tangent to the curve at x is equals to 2. All right, now the coordinate for this point is 2 comma question mark, like you don't have the coordinates of y. Let's put this value of 2 in the given equation of curve, that is y equal to x square minus 11x plus 12. So let's put this value, y is equals to 2 times 2 square minus 11 times 2 plus 12. All right, let's solve this. So if we solve this, so y will be equals to 2 into 4 minus 22 plus 12. So y will be equals to 8 minus 22 plus 12. So this thing will produce minus 10, and minus 10 and 8 will produce minus 2. Now this line L touches the tangent and touches the curve at minus 2. All right, now we have the gradient of this tangent. We have the gradient of this tangent in a part, you can check that, the gradient of tangent. All right, and what is the gradient of the tangent to the curve at x? That is minus 3. So now this line L is perpendicular to the tangent, so that means the gradient of this thing will be negative reciprocal, and this will be equals to 1 over 3. Now you need to use slope intercept form of equation of line to find out the value of the equation of line. and that is y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. Now what is the gradient of line L? That is 1 over 3. Now x you will write as it is. Now this line L is passing through this point, all right, and now the coordinates of this point are x1 and y1. So x1 is 2 and y minus 2, and here you will solve y plus 2 is equals to 1 over 3x minus 2 by 3. Now y will be equals to 1 by 3x minus 2 by 3 minus 2, and if you make the denominator same, so that will be 3 over here. So y will be equals to 1 over 3x minus 2 by 3 minus 6 by 3. All right. And now the final answer you will be getting over here is y is equals to 1 by 3x minus 6 and minus 2 will produce minus 8. So that will be minus 8 by 3. Hopefully you understand this. Okay, let's move to question number 24. So in question number 24, you have some power of 7 and some power of 49, so you need to make their bases same so that you can compare the powers. So that is 7 is equals 7 power 2x plus 1 is equals to 7 power 2 into 2 minus x. So this thing will produce 7 power 2x plus 1 is equals to 7 power 4 minus 2x. As the bases are same, so we can compare the powers. So 2x plus 1 will be equals to 4 minus 2x. So if you bring 2x over here, so that will be 2x plus 2x is equals to 4 minus 5. So 4x will be equals to 3 and x will be equals to 3 by 4. Now the answer over here is 3 by 4. Let's move to question number 25. So question number 25 says the straight line y is equals to 7 minus 4x intersect the curve y is equals to this at 2 points. Find the coordinates of those 2 points. So basically let's say you have a curve and line is crossing at 2 points. Line is crossing at 2 points. That means at these 2 points the coordinates of the line and curve are same. So what you will do, simply just their left sides are same, equate the equations. So you will be getting 7 minus 4x is equals to 4 plus 3x minus x square, 2x square, sorry. So if you bring these terms over here, so that will be 2x square minus 3x, all right, minus 4 plus 7 minus 4x. So now 2x square then minus 7x plus 3 will be equals to 0. Let's factorize this equation. So this thing will be equals to 2x square minus 6x minus x plus 3 is equals to 0. 2x is common from here, so x minus 3 into minus 1 into x minus 3 is equals to 0. Now 2x minus 1 into x minus 3 over here is equals to 0. Put them equals to 0. 2x minus 1 is equals to 0, and then x minus 3 is equals to 0. So 2x will be equals to 1 and x will be equals to 1 upon 2 and x will be equals to 3. Now you have two values of x, and for these two values, let's say you have a curve over here and this line is touching and you find the x coordinate. Now put the values of x in the equations given y equals 7 minus 4x. So y is equals to 7 minus 4, and which two values of x we have here? We have one value that is 1 over 2 and the second is y equals 7 minus 4 into 3. So now this will be equals to y is equals to 7 minus 2 and this thing will be 5, and y is equals to 7 minus 12 and this thing will be equals to minus 5. Now the coordinates are, when you put 1 over 2, so you get 5. So the coordinates are basically 1 over 2 and 5, and then 3 and minus 5. So hopefully you understand this. So if you understand the question, so please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, students, take care. Goodbye.